Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel for Pacific Coast Auto. My name is Derek Weldon and we're taking a look at a 1997 Toyota Land Cruiser 70 series, but the awesome one. This one comes with the big engine, the 5-speed, the locking diffs, and it's the short body one, which means short wheelbase, which means you can climb over anything. Even the big mountain in the background there. Even the trees that are in the way. So this one was bought from auction. It's going to be going to Canada. And this is a vehicle post-purchase inspection video. Okay, so it's a 4.2 liter diesel engine. These ones don't come with turbo. The 4 liters come with turbos in the 80 series, but the 70 series has just the 4.2. It's a completely reasonable engine and the bigger of the 2 diesel engines that you can get in the 70 series, which is good because comparatively these are pretty small 4x4 vehicles, except this one's big. And nice big tires, the 35s there. These engines are super reliable, and without the turbo on them, they're going to be even more reliable. This one has some oil leak from the valve cover. You can see it's kind of dripping down in there. A little bit hard to see in the video here. But this area here, the valve cover gasket, has oil leak. This was mentioned on the auction sheet. Timing belt was changed at 200,000 kilometers in 2013. The coolant is good. The oil is a little bit low. When the vehicle lands in Canada, you're going to want to top that up. It's a dual battery 24 volt electrical system, and so in the cold of Canada, it's going to start every time. Hopefully, I'm sure that it will. You do have to make sure that your batteries are good because the 24 volt system tends to last a long time, maybe 10 or so years before you need to change the batteries. But because of the expense of 2 large size batteries, some people don't change them and then they become hard to start. A 24 volt system is hard to start off of a 12 volt jumper car. Okay, so not much else to say inside the engine room here. I'm going to lower the hood, but because it's been lifted, the hood's way up there and I'm going to need 2 hands to lower it. And so just give me a second while you get to hang out next to the tires. Okay, so we're going to look over the auction inspection sheet, and then after we're done that, I'm going to go over the condition of the vehicle all the way out around the outside and then into the inside. So let's just pull this guy down. And we're going to go inside to read it. Okay, so here's the translation. 1997 Land Cruiser van, FRP top. The FRP tops are a little bit more expensive. This is a removable white top, and then there's a roll bar on the inside. These are the ones that everybody wants, especially with the locking diffs. And so really lucky that we were able to purchase this one. We actually were searching for this for a long time with this customer. Auction grade 3.5, interior C. Comes with power steering, power windows. Of course, it's 4-wheel drive. It's a selectable 4-wheel drive, and so you can do it rear-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, or you can lock the front, the rear diff only, or you can lock the rear and the front, and you can lock the hubs with push button on it. It's not the manual version of the locking hubs with the fingers that get cold in the winter. It's the push the button and go version of it. Okay, so here's the sales points from the seller. It says diesel engine 1HZ and lift it up. I'm actually going to turn the engine off here while we're shooting because it is a bit of a noisy engine and my vocal cords don't want to be burnt out. We have an industrial camper coming later today that is going to be super cool, but I literally have no room in the lot right now. We're supposed to have a pickup of 10 vehicles, but they're like, oh, we don't want to come today. We'll come tomorrow. Okay, so Diff Lock. Now, here's something about the Diff Locks, because a lot of people who are looking at this video are like, I'm going to get me some Land Cruiser with Diff Locks in it. The Diff Locks, here they are. Come on, focus. So you can see you can have rear only or front and rear. Everybody wants the Diff Locks because they are the cool option on this car, but they're not on very many of them, and the sellers often don't mention it. For example, that Land Cruiser there has the Diff Locks and the seller didn't say it, and we were like, wow, lucky, because people would pay a few $1,000s extra to have those Diff Locks in them. This seller mentioned it, but here's what the problem is if you want to have the Diff Locks, it's really hard to buy them from auction because you never know what you're going to get unless the seller mentions them, which again is not very often. And then I think the diff locks are only on a very small percentage. I'm not sure exactly how many, but I would say probably less than 25% of them have it. Okay, so they say this is grade LX, and so the LX one would be the big engine, and you get the power windows and stuff like that. It says a rear mount spare tire piece has been taken off and the spare is inside the car. It's punctured. Aftermarket steering wheel, and something I can't read. Something is unknown. I'm sorry, I can't read it. But if you're the buyer of this, check your translation, because they're all translated properly before you bid on them. Okay, so here's the report from the auction. The audio has been audio doesn't work and is loose. I didn't notice it's loose. It's not loose. That's weird. Comes out, it says. Oh, maybe they're talking about it being a little bit out from the dashboard. Interior is dirty and cigarette burn. There's actually a few cigarette burns in this area here. It wouldn't be a Land Cruiser in Japan without cigarette burns in it. Side visors are aftermarket and tail lights are aftermarket. The side visor is this piece here that makes it so you can smoke inside without the rain getting you. Spare tire has no air in it. Has it been punctured? Question mark. It actually has a weird pasty repair on it, but it doesn't really matter because it's here's the way it happened. This is the spare tire because it has more tread than everything else, and then the tire that used to be on there is in there with a puncture. And so probably a good idea to get 4 new tires for this. And they're 35 by 12.5 by 16 is the size. Rear headrests have been removed. Engine oil leak, as I showed you earlier, and wheels are aftermarket on it. Okay, looking at the diagram here, paint peeling on the hood, some dents on this side, medium dents, and then this side has some small dents. I'd say the body on this is quite good. These Land Cruisers often have pretty beat up bodies because they're used by cool people who actually use them for off-roading. And because of that, they're hard to find with a nice clean body and something that's rust-free like this one is. The auction sheet's going to mention if it has rust on it, and so make sure that you check that, but still, finding one that's rust-free is a little bit difficult. Okay, so as far as pricing goes, I'm not going to mention how much this one was bought for, but typical Land Cruisers in condition that is close to this. Well, actually, all Land Cruiser 70 series with the big engine, you're looking, and the 5-speed, you're looking at about 750,000 at the very low end and about 1.8 million yen at the high end. And you can do the conversion there if you want, plus purchase fees, shipping, and all of that stuff. The larger the vehicle, the more shipping will cost. In most countries, it's going to be somewhere around 1,000 to 1,500 US dollars. Okay, for a vehicle this size, that is. The 70 series is the industrial truck, so these ones are the ones that were meant to go run over stumps and climb up the side of Mount Fuji. And this hill in the background, it actually is a Mount Fuji. The name of this is Little Mount Fuji. Okay, so chrome bumper is in good condition. Headlights are aftermarket. And then these are US legal. This one isn't. This one is 1997. The vehicle has to be 25 years old to go to the US, and so it's going to Canada. A good idea for the owner of this would be to import the car into Canada, and then when it's US legal, sell it there. Because by that time, there won't be very many of these left. Windshield can flip down. Look at those cool hinges there. And so if you have the back off, it would be a good idea to take the doors off because it would look a little bit goofy, but you can keep the doors on. Windshield can flip down if you want, and then the back doors have to come off. So there are aftermarket doors that can work with this when the top is off, but see how if the top comes off, this door would still be going up all the way there. So you'd have to take those two off and put some sort of a net or aftermarket door or just nothing there in the back if you want. Okay, looks great. Look at all of that ground clearance. Very nice. Offset diff for your 4x4. Front and backs are both offset, so it makes it easier to clear those rocks and stuff. We got Rancho RS 9000. Looks a little bit old. And then we have this for the lift, which is a shackle. What this does is it drops the suspension down a little bit further from normal. Not a giant lift, maybe 6 inches, maybe up to 8. The back has, usually the spare tire goes on the back here, but when you have a larger than normal spare tire, you can't do that anymore because the doors open barnyard style. And if there actually was a tire on here, you wouldn't be able to open this up. So a lot of people will put it on the inside. And if I open this, the tire's going to fall out onto me. But you can see that repair I was talking about right there. And I won't be able to open this up any further for this video. I'm sorry about that, but this is about how much room that you get. It's about 1 meter from here to up there, which is not bad. You don't get much room in the back seat, but these vehicles aren't really meant for back seat drivers. There's a roll cage inside, very cool. So it's got the bar around here and then another hoop that goes up there. I'll show you a peek of the underside here. Okay, so you can see it's all really nice. The places that rust first, like these sections in here, aren't rusted. The frame itself has been painted black, but no signs of corrosion with it. And then the floor underneath is in really good condition as well. So that's nice. Land Cruisers, really the only problem with them is that when they get old, they rust, as with any car, but it's sad with the Land Cruisers because everybody wants them. Okay, so power windows, and those work. Just going to take the key out. The key is damaged, unfortunately. Okay, so the seat is ripped. These are the original seats, but any Toyota seat from the era fits into them. They might sit a little bit lower though than these, because a lot of Toyota seats will sit lower. Okay, so as long as it has the, notice here, it has one low and one high, and then they're at like a an angle like this on the front ones, and then the back ones are up and down. If the seats look like that, chances are they'll bolt in, and so a parts store, like a pick your own parts place, you can get some new seats for it. Wooden steering wheel. Whoa, big step to get up. And look at this. Monitors. A little bit goofy, but cool, I guess. And they're even the color of an old Super Nintendo. Okay, 263, 390. What I love about Land Cruisers is even at high mileage, they still look and run great. And then you can be proud of the mileage on it. Instead of being worried, you can be happy about it accumulating higher mileage and then saying to all your friends, look at the high mileage that my car has, and it is still super awesome. Now the other side, the seat will roll forward. The driver's seat doesn't do that, but this gives you an idea of what the seat in the back looks like. And you can double fold it to give you more cargo room as well. What I mean is fold down, fold up like that. Okay, so we don't sell a lot of these Land Cruisers, mostly because of the price of them. They are expensive, and you know, not everybody wants to spend that much on an older 4x4, but they're expensive for good reason, and a lot of people do want them. And so I think a good purchase on this one. As with all the Land Cruisers, it needs a few things, like the hood needs to be painted, but engine looks like it's good, running condition is good, power steering works, tires are a little bit big, so power steering feels a bit weird, like the whole body will move when you steer it. It's kind of weird, but no, it looks great, they perform great, and it can be with the family for a long time. You can pass it on to your children as a family heirloom. And if your son or your daughter is like, I can't believe you're giving me a 4x4 from the 90s. Thanks a lot, Dad. You can disown your kids. Okay, so there you go. Land Cruiser 70. If you have any questions, please let me know. Check out our website. There's a link to that in the description, or you can have fun by talking to people in the comments section. So thanks a lot, everybody, for watching, and have a nice day.